Hey Team Performance X, Coach David here. I just thought I would do a quick update video on MyFitnessPal. The other video felt short and rushed. So if there's one thing that's going to help you have success as you're doing a program like P90X, Insanity, TurboFire, it's going to be tracking your nutrition. We don't know what we eat unless we track it, and they have really easy tools so you don't have to write it down in a notebook and tally up all the grams of fat, carbohydrates, protein yourself. The best one out there, I feel, is MyFitnessPal, and it's free. You go to the website, myfitnesspal.com. This is my personal account. You can see here, Coach David J. If you want to friend me, see what I'm eating. I'll be using this really regularly with Body Beast because I'm not accustomed to eating that many calories, and that's an important point. If you're not used to eating a certain way, this tool is really important. If you've been eating a certain way for a long time, you might not need to rely on this because most likely you eat the same thing over and over and you're used to it. But let's just say you started a new account, you went through their login process, really easy, you'll come up with this. You won't have a profile yet. That's pretty easy. You can do that in settings, and also look at your profile there. So that's not a big concern, but our big concern is setting up our goals. So when you come to your home page, you'll see under My Home, Goals. Click that, and it'll bring up your fitness goals. Now, MyFitnessPal, based on some of your login profile information that you gave when you made your account, will give you some rough goals. They're not bad, but they're not great either, and especially for what we're trying to do is some pretty quick fat loss, they're not going to be beneficial. So you want to change your goals. You want to go custom. You do not want their recommendations. Their recommendations are going to have way too many carbs, and you just want to avoid that. We know Fat Shredder is the best way, so we go to continue, and here you go. It's pretty easy. I'll show you what I would adjust and go from there. If you've used the P90X formula to calculate your calorie needs, you know that your exercise is built in. So I don't ever add in exercise calories, with the small caveat that if I do, say, an extra workout, say there was a day I decided to also go for a run, I might add in those because I burnt more calories than I thought I was going to in a day, and it's not figured in. So your net calories, this is what you want to burn in a day. So when we figure out, for a lot of people, they start out with 1900 calories, and we know that to lose fat the fastest, it's going to be best done with high protein, moderate to low carbohydrates, and a pretty normal amount of fat. So carbohydrates, with Fat Shredder, we're going to move to 30%. Protein, we're going to move to 50, and then it balances out fat at 20. Now going on through here, they give you some goals. I don't do much to change them. I've upped my potassium, or my sodium, excuse me, before because I tend to eat more sodium. I don't find it's an issue. I believe grams of sugar is also a little higher than they start with. A good place is 50. If you're only getting your sugar through fruits, vegetables, and natural sources, you'll have no trouble meeting that goal. The rest of the goals are pretty standard. For fitness goals, I do put in that, I'm going to work out 6 times a week for 60 minutes. Target calories a week. You're glad to do, you're glad to estimate that. They'll do it for you. They'll talk about, hey, do you have a calorie deficit? Yeah, I do. 660 calories means it's going to be 1.33 pounds a week. That's great. So change my goals. You just save them. Hey, goals updated. Now let's go to logging some food. I don't think I've logged anything today. These categories I've updated. You can find that in settings. I'll jump over there quickly. You can say, hey, I want to see protein, carbs, fat, sugar, and fiber. I like this breakdown. You can change it to whatever. If you're really concerned, hey, I don't think I'm getting enough iron, change that to iron. I like fiber. Then for meal names, you have 6 slots. I've set them up for me. A lot of people start with breakfast snack, lunch snack, dinner snack. My diary settings here, public. I don't care who sees this. So save changes. and then back to food. Now entering food, you can see we just have the different meals, and you add food where you ate it. So breakfast, you click add food. You won't have anything here. This is my most used. There's recent. There's also my foods, things I've put in. These are two they didn't have. Some supplements, whole food supplements, just to increase some dietary needs. And then also meals. They're things that I always eat, post-workout and Shakeology. Since that's really regular, I made a meal of it. There's also recipes. I don't have any recipes currently. My old account, before starting coaching, I did have some recipes because my wife would make a wonderful meal. I would just plug in all the foods that were in that meal, and then we would have a recipe, and I'd say, hey, I ate one portion of that delicious meatloaf, and then I would calculate my needs. So back to most used. You won't have anything because if you're starting out, you haven't used anything. So you just search their database by name, which this is what's fantastic. Say for breakfast, like most mornings, I have Shakeology chocolate. I just search Shakeology chocolate, and look at this. I don't have to do anything. Now, one thing I will show you, you want to look for some high confirmations. They're not necessarily always needed, but just make sure someone else is using this. Beachbody Shakeology chocolate shake 2. 2 might be the best we're going to get. But if you want to check for sure, you just click nutritional facts and you see, okay, 150, that's right, 17. Yeah. Cool, that's correct. So if I had that for breakfast, 1 serving, add to food diary, and it's there. Now, as you get regular foods, I'll show you what you do. Here's most used. So my typical Shakeology, natural peanut butter, some unsweetened almond milk, and then an extra 1 scoop away. And you can multi-click and add all the click. There is a breakfast. So that's filled in. For snack, same thing. Say I'm planning my day, and this is what I'd encourage you to do. Just go through and add the things that you're going to eat for your snack. So I'm going to have a pure protein bar. That's one I have regularly. And then I'm also going to have a green apple. So I click that, and great. I've got my protein bar and green apple. And you can see in your totals as you're working, here's my totals for the day. This was the goal, and the green here is remaining. If it goes into red, you've gone over in a certain category. So I still have, since I'm on Fat Shredder, I still have a lot of protein, and this is, pretty daunting for some people. So play around with this. For lunch, what I'm taking, if I'm trying to get all that protein, 6 ounces isn't going to cut it. I might have to take that to 8 for lunch. So I go to 8. Okay, great. That helped with my protein need. Also for my snack, I'm going to have another scoop away. This is often how, especially when I'm on a new nutrition plan, I do it. I go through and I try to eliminate 1 macronutrient. So I'm going to try to use up my protein. For dinner, I'm not creative today. I know Aaron's going to make chicken again, but I know I need a big portion because I got a lot of protein there. So 10-ounce portion I'm going to look for. Great, I'm getting really close. And maybe for my nighttime snack, I'm going to have some good old cottage cheese. And there we go, my 2%, because, hey, I got a lot of fat left in my day, and that's not a big concern. So, hey, I'm pretty close here, and now I'll go back and I will hit some of my carbs. Now, I've left a little protein here because as I knock out these 64 carbs, they're not just pure carbohydrate. They might have something else. They might have a little protein in them. They might also have some fat, hopefully some more fiber, which they should, especially since I'm going to be eating some vegetables. They'll have fiber. So I'll go back to dinner. What do I like with my chicken breast? Well, I love broccoli. I eat so much broccoli. I should own a broccoli farm. And so I ate a cup and a half prepared. Okay, well, you can see, look at how much vegetables I can eat, and it doesn't really put a big dent. So, you know what? I'm going to double that. I'm going to have 3 cups of broccoli. Really fill me up. Good fiber. Okay, great carbs. Oh, lunch. I just had the chicken breast, so I'm going to need some sort of carb at lunch. And I can go through, okay, I'm going to make that an open-faced chicken sandwich. So I'm going to have a piece of bread. I'm going to have some spinach. One of my favorites, I think I have fat, so watch me on this left. I'm going to put on a tablespoon, so I'm half of the 2 tablespoon amount of sweet Vidalia onion, which is delicious. And let's take a look at that. And we can see that brought down some of my carbs, a little protein from that spinach. Oh, that's 2 cups, so that was probably a salad amount. And I still have a tiny little bit of fat left. Just over my sugar, what I was shooting for, but the only really places it's occurring is naturally. Cottage cheese, you know, dairy products tend to have a lot of sugar. Cheeses don't, but if you're going to drink milk or eat cottage cheese, but hard cheeses, excuse me, tend to have 0 sugars. So I got some sugar there. Broccoli, Green Giant must have a little sugar in it. And then the rest are pretty natural. I mean, an apple, so great. And then sugar and a little bit in my Shakeology, which is all natural. So I'm getting really close to my goal. I still have some carbs, which is fantastic. So I can look back through there. What do I want to do for my snack? Maybe I want to add carbs here. A really easy way if you want pretty much straight carbs. Cheerios. Some multigrain. That had 0 confirmation, so I'm a little leery of 0 confirmations. I don't know if someone entered it incorrectly. 1 confirmation. Let's see if a cup will fit there. 1 cup of Cheerios, 24 grams. Ooh, this is fantastic. I'm really, really close. Yes, it says I'm under on calories. That has a lot to do with how people enter things in and also how the companies figure their nutritional facts. So I'm really not concerned that it says I'm 132 calories. I know that 4 grams of protein, 1 carb, and 1 fat doesn't equal 132 calories. This is 16 calories, 4, so I'm at 20, 29 calories short if I'm going correctly by these grams of protein, carbs, and fat. So I feel really good about this entry. I know what I'm going to eat for the day, and all now I have to do is stick to this plan. And that's why this tool, MyFitnessPal, can allow you to have such great success. You plan out your day. There's no question. A lot of times I would plan through snack and make sure I had left some calories open for dinner, but when I was being really strict, I never did that. It can be hard, but I didn't eat the same thing as my family most evenings because I knew that it needed to be a lean protein and usually a fibrous green vegetable of some sort. I couldn't have breads, I couldn't have rice, I never had carbohydrates left after that point. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Seen a little overview of MyFitnessPal. Remember, you can friend me at Coach David J on MyFitnessPal. You can see what I'm eating. I'm going to go back now and I'm going to change my wonderful settings to my bulking diet. And you can get excited about that. Starting Body Beast here Monday. And looking forward to changing from what I've done for a long time. I just finished a short round of cutting to try to get lean before this Body Beast, and now I'm slowly upping my calories. So again, this is Coach David with Team Performance X. Feel free to email me at coachdavid@teamperformancex.com and stop by teamperformancex.com, and you can also like us on Facebook.